testing out this new setup. I don't have like a car mount for my camera, so I just use my tripod. Just kind of prop it up against the dash and rest it on the seat. Cool, let's see if this works. I'm so curious how this is gonna turn out. Okay, maybe I just hold on to this when I turn. Today is October 25th, 2024. I am exactly 2 weeks away from my fight. My fight is on November 8th. Feels really good to have a fight lined up. It's been almost a year and a half since I last fought. My last fight was July of last year. And after that, I had a couple surgeries. I had surgery on my nose.
Coming out of anesthesia, we just fixed his nose up and he's breathing better already. So he'll be ready to train soon and get ready for his next fight. Everything went great.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. Okay. Love you. I'll be good. Love you. All right, Stan. No. What happens when Shay doesn't have a car mount? My brother's driving me home. Alright, I'll put that away. Anyways. Oh. Anyways. I didn't hit record. Alright, man. This thing keeps stopping recording. Bro, what? Did my phone just have surgery and my phone's out of it? Bro, like what? Road to recovery. We down. But we ain't out. Let's get it. And then I had surgery on my knee, so that took me out the rest of the year. And I've been trying to get a fight lined up, and things just kept falling through. In the beginning of the year, I had a little bit of an itch to test the waters with some bare knuckle MMA. So around April, I had a fight scheduled for Game Bred bare knuckle MMA, but something ended up falling through. I never heard back on an opponent. I never got a contract, so that just kind of, April came and went. And then I was told that Netflix was going to be doing an MMA documentary where they were going to be following fighters around during their training camps and then film them fighting at the end. So then I was told I was going to be on that, which would have been awesome. And filming for that was supposed to begin in April. And then the fights were supposed to take place in August. But then that whole thing fell through. So I was starting to get a little bit worried that I wasn't going to fight this year because I was just having a hard time getting fights. Things just had been falling through the entire year. So to be able to get this fight for LFA here in Arizona is a blessing. This will actually be the first time in about 6 years, almost to the day, since I last fought in Arizona. In fact, my last fight in Arizona was November 9th, 2018. This fight is November 8th, 2024, so almost exactly 6 years to the day. So I'm feeling good. I'm on my way to fight ready now. Gonna get my last hard rounds of sparring in. Then I'm gonna do some conditioning and finish up in the sauna. In the sauna with my boy, Christian Natividad. We're both fighting on November 8th.
2 weeks, baby.
2 weeks from today. He's making his return after his ACL surgery. How long's it been now for you?
It's been 2 years, but 4 years since I fought here in Arizona.
4 years for him,
yeah.
6 years for me. Both making our returns November 8th, man. 2 weeks from now is gonna be a good day. Cheers. Shout out to Starbucks water, man. So good. After training, just hits the spot. So today is Friday, which means that tonight we will be having a Bible study over at my family's gym, C Gym MMA. Now this all started because there were some kids on our jiu-jitsu team who were interested in learning more about the Bible. So my brother started doing a Bible study with the kids, whoever wanted to join, after kids jiu-jitsu practice Friday evenings. And then one of the moms asked me, hey, since we're all sitting around while our kids are doing the Bible study with your brother, do you want to do a Bible study with the adults? And I thought about it and I was like, absolutely. So we started doing Friday night Bible studies. Talking about the Bible is my favorite thing to talk about. My faith is extremely important to me. I really became passionate about the Bible when I was in my early 20s. I grew up a Christian. My parents are Christians. They raised us to be Christians. But I didn't really do a deep dive into Christianity until I was like in my early 20s. The more I looked into Christianity, the stronger my faith became. Just even looking into the Bible itself. The Bible is written over 1,500 years. There are 66 books that make up the Bible. You have 40 different authors. And when you read the first book of Genesis, written by Moses, all the way through till the end, the last book of Revelation by John, it reads as one story. Most of the authors didn't even know each other. They came from 3 different continents, Europe, Asia, Africa. They spoke 3 different languages, Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. And it all reads as one story.
You have all of the writings outside of the Bible that talk about the Bible, that support the stories in the Bible. You have historians like Josephus and Tacitus who talk about Jesus, who corroborate the stories. We have more manuscripts of the New Testament than any other ancient text in human history. We have more evidence supporting Jesus Christ than we do Alexander the Great or Julius Caesar. For me, I'm looking at this and I'm going, how is this possible? And I just became fascinated by the whole thing. And I'm not an expert by any means, but if people want to meet and talk and have an open discussion and go through a chapter in the Bible, I'm totally down. I am 10 days out and today's been a great day. I trained this morning, my weight's on point, and I voted. And after all that excitement and making a massive, massive difference in the world, and I have the sticker to prove it, my fight shorts just got here. All right, I went with some Hayabusas. Yeah, these things are clean. You gotta roll them up. The higher you roll them up, the harder the kicks. Basic science. I love them. They feel great. All I gotta do now is get the logos put on, and then I'll be done with the shorts and work on my fight shirts. And we'll do that later on tonight. All right, I'm back. So I am stoked to drop my next batch of fight shirts because my friend and tattoo artist, IslandTAT Josh, pretty sure that's what it says on his birth certificate, designed it. I have been getting work done by Josh since I was 18, and the dude is just an incredible artist and person. So it's a total honor to have him design my fight shirt. And I reached out to him and he was like, I got you. And in like 2-3 days, sent me a design. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna work on some different color options and mock-ups for the shirt so that I can go ahead and start marketing and put an order in. Alright, so I've been working on the shirts for a while, and I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna keep it clean. I think I'm just gonna do a white and a black and just go with those. I messed with a bunch of different color options and I think that these two look the best. So I'm gonna get the order placed tomorrow or the next day. And huge thanks again to Josh. You're the man, I appreciate it. If anybody's interested in some polytribal, hit him up. Check out his shop in San Diego, IslandTAT. The dude is the best in the game. Appreciate it, brother.
Break it. Squeeze this to the death. For the back. Use it for the back. Yep. There you go. Yep. Yes. What you should do. Okay. Without getting the tab. Yep.
1 week till weigh-ins. Perfect. All right, I am 1 week out. I went for a nice long run this morning. I'm feeling great, and at this point, all the hard work has been put in, and it's time to focus on resting the body, recovering, and making weight. So, since I'll have a bit more downtime, I figured now would be a great time to knock out a painting. Painting is one of my favorite hobbies, and it's a great way to keep me distracted during a weight cut, so I'm not sitting around focusing on how hungry I am. I got into painting about 5-6 years ago. I started off painting cartoons, and then eventually started painting pets, and then people like my family, athletes. So for this painting, I've been working on a series of iconic movie and TV show characters. I painted Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, Walter White, aka Heisenberg from Breaking Bad, Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders, and John Wick from John Wick. And for this painting, I'm painting King Leonidas from 300, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
This is Sparta!
I've already prepped the canvas, I've transferred the line work, so I'm ready to go, and this will definitely keep me busy over the next week. Today is Sunday. I'm 5 days out, which means that the weigh-ins are in 4 days. Now, normally I would fight on a Saturday, but this fight is on a Friday, which means that today I start water loading. And basically all that means is that I will be drinking gallons and gallons of water between now and Wednesday, the day before weigh-ins. It almost sounds counterproductive, like why would you drink a bunch of water just to lose it? When you water load, you eventually suppress a hormone in the body that's called the antidiuretic hormone that essentially just tells the body that it's holding on to too much fluids and needs to start releasing. If you don't water load, it may make it more difficult to sweat and lose those last few pounds during the cut. So I'm working on my first gallon now, and it's crazy because during the water loading phase, you just hate water. But then during the cut, it's all that you want. I don't know why we do this, man. Why do we do this? Why have we chosen this sport? Out of all the sports, why did we choose this one? We're all crazy, that's why. As far as meals go, I get my last batch from my sister and brother-in-law who've been meal prepping again for me for this camp. They do a phenomenal job. Their food is amazing. They always take care of me and keep me right on track during every camp. This really is a whole family affair. My brother helps coach for me during camp, and he's a training partner of mine. My parents take care of the gym. My dad will be in my corner. The whole family's involved, and it's such a blessing. So all that's on my schedule today is going to church, hitting a night run and sauna session, working on my painting, and drinking a lot of water. Alright, I'm 2 days out. Tomorrow's weigh-ins. My weight is good. I feel good. I've dieted down well. Weigh-ins are in the morning tomorrow, so I'm gonna start my water cut tonight and hopefully lose everything that I need to so I don't have to wake up and cut in the morning. And in the meantime, my goal is gonna be to finish this painting before I start my water cut tonight, because from that point forward, I am not gonna wanna do anything but eat, and relax. And I won't be working on anything until after my fight. And this painting's done its job, man. It has definitely helped keep me distracted, and I'm loving the way that it's turning out. So it's time to grind and finish this thing up. Alright, believe it or not, I actually finished this thing. I'm pretty stoked with it. King Leonidas. I don't have time to hang it up. It is currently 5:39. I gotta go pick up my fight shorts at 6:30. It's about a 40-minute drive. And then my weight cut starts at 8, so I gotta go. Appreciate it, bro. On my way to go cut this weight with my team. It's the fun part, man. The fighting's cool, but the weight cut, that's what people look forward to.
Yeah.
It's weigh-in morning. I'm on weight. I have my post-weigh-in reload stash in my bag ready to go for me as soon as I step off the scale. And then waiting at home for me, I have this lineup. Oh my gosh. Oreo and Chips Ahoy muffins. Chocolate covered banana chips. One of my favorites, Nutty Buddies. Best believe more Nutty Buddies in the freezer. I got pumpkin donut holes. Oh my gosh, can't wait.
154.6. Confirmed. That's official.
Thank you, sir.
I'm well up first.
Thanks, mate. Every fight is the biggest fight of my career. People will ask me, oh, did you feel differently when you fought on Contender Series? Were you more nervous? Or when you fought, at UFC 290 in the T-Mobile Arena, or when you had this fight or that fight? Every single fight feels the same. And the reason for that is because my goal has always been the same. Since I decided when I was a kid that I wanted to be a fighter, I always wanted to become a UFC champion. That was always my goal. My goal had never shifted. And because of that, I knew that every single fight was just another fight to lead me to that goal. So when I made my pro debut, I knew, okay, this is when it's especially real. You go pro, that's it. That record's gonna last forever. And then every fight from that point on was me trying to climb and get closer and closer and closer to either get onto the Ultimate Fighter or to then get on the Contender Series once that became a thing. So there were no fights where I felt like I had more pressure than the fight before because I was always trying to get to that next step. So this fight is currently the biggest fight of my career because this fight is going to help determine whether or not I get back into the UFC. 2023, last year, was hands down the hardest year of my life. 2021, so 2 years prior, was hands down the best year of my life. In 2021, my nephew was born. In 2023, my grandfather passed away. In 2021, I fought 3 times before the year was even halfway over because I was healthy. I won all 3 fights. One of those fights was me making my UFC debut on short notice and beating Amir Khani, who was a former top 15 ranked featherweight. 2023, I only fought 1 time because I was dealing with injuries. I had 2 surgeries that year. I lost that fight and I got released from the UFC. 2021, I began a new relationship that I was very excited about. 2023, that relationship ended. It was a very, very rough year. And after being released, I had a lot of serious thoughts about my future in MMA. I was 29 when I got released. I'm 30 now. And thoughts of whether or not it would be irresponsible for me to continue to pursue MMA were very real and definitely crossed my mind. I know that I love MMA. I know that it's something that I've been passionate about my whole life, but I had to try to figure out if it was time for me to change vehicles and pursue something that would set me up financially for the rest of my life to support myself and a future family. Ultimately, I decided that I wanted to give MMA one more shot. Like I said, I was 29 when I got released, and I figured that if I would have stopped then, I would have looked back and I probably would have regretted it for the rest of my life. So for me, that's what this fight is. Every fight you experience a different type of pressure with different sort of consequences for winning and for losing. The pressure going into this fight is I don't want to lose 3 in a row. I'm coming off a 2-fight losing streak. I don't want to lose in front of my family and friends. You know, this is here in my hometown. With that said, I enjoy the pressure. I personally feel I perform the best when I'm the most under pressure. I like that I have all of this weighing on me going into this fight because I think it's going to bring the best out of me. People ask me all the time, how do you deal with the nerves? I get nervous for every fight, but one thing that helps combat those nerves is confidence in my preparation. When you can look yourself in the mirror and you know I've truly done everything that I could do to prepare for this moment. There's nothing more that I could have done. There's so much confidence that comes with that. When I would get nervous as a kid before competing, my dad would ask me, did you train as hard as you could? I would say, of course. And he would ask me, are you gonna go and fight as hard as you can? I would say, of course. He goes, well, that's all you can do. You can't control anything else. Those are the only 2 things that you can't control. You can't control what the rep is gonna do. You can't control what people are gonna say. As long as you control the controllables, then you have to let the chips fall where they may. But at the end of the day, no matter what, you'll at least be proud of yourself because you did the very best that you could. And that completely changed my life in every area. And with this fight, it's no different. I'm gonna go out. I've done everything that I could do to prepare. I'm confident and I'm going to go out and I'm gonna fight as hard as I can. And at the end of the night, when I'm laying down in bed, I'll be able to close my eyes and know that I did the best that I could. I know that you guys aren't gonna see this until after the fight, but I appreciate all of you. I love all of you, and I'm gonna go get some rest and get ready to put on a show for everybody tomorrow night.
the Hawaiian Kamuela Kirk. Oh, and Kirk lands. Santos attacking.
Big fly deep for Kirk.
Oh, left hook from Santos. And the teep again, Gil. Furious pace here in the co-main event.
Santos still pressing forward. Oh, left hook for Kirk.
Now the first takedown.
Kirk tries for a flying triangle.
Oh, Santos lands. Back and forth we go.
Got a chain wrestle, keep pushing, and he gets it wrong. Oh yeah, big knee for Kirk. Punches off the break. Kirk throws.
What a fight. Kamuela Kirk raises his hands in the air in victory, and Nilson Santos does the same. Wow. I mean, this is as high level of a fight you will get. I would not be surprised to see both these men in the UFC at some point.
Oh, definitely.
It's been about 1 week since the fight. First and foremost, I just want to thank God. God is good always through my wins and my losses. He is good just the same and deserves all the glory, honor, and praise. My opponent and I left everything in the cage. We got fight of the night, which included a nice little bonus, so that's cool. Much respect to my opponent. He was very tough, which is what I expected. Heavy-handed, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, well-rounded, comes from a good camp, trains with Alex Bejeda, Glover Teixeira, Plinio Cruz, and those guys. Great camp, nothing but respect to all of them. I have no excuses. I just came up short. I had a great camp, probably the best weight cut of my career. I could breathe. That nose surgery last year has just done wonders for me. My conditioning has never felt as good as it did in the fight. Who would have thought being able to breathe would help so much? If I'm being honest, I have been putting off recording this video for days. I don't like sympathy, people feeling sorry for me. So I thought about making this video and being like, it is what it is, I'm good, the goal doesn't change, minor setback for a major comeback, I'll be back stronger. You know, you win or you learn. I learned last weekend, and I'm gonna win the next time. All the usual things people say when they lose, but I figured I'd be more transparent with you guys. I have had a very difficult time. In this sport, you truly experience the highest highs and lowest lows. Everything about this sport is as extreme as it gets. Let's even take a weight cut. One day your body is just about as depleted as it can get. You rid your body of almost everything that it needs to survive. And in some extreme cases, you feel like you're dying. And then the very next day, you could win a fight and feel completely on top of the world. Two extremes within a day of each other. Or in my case, you could be on a 3-fight winning streak in the UFC, only to then go on a 3-fight losing streak and be released from the UFC. So this is a brutal sport. And one thing that I've learned is that a lot of the fighting, or in my case, the majority of the fighting, happens outside the cage. Fighting against all the things that you can't control, but telling yourself it's gonna be okay, and that you're gonna get through it, and that this is just another bump in the road, and that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you're gonna make it. You just gotta keep going. The first few days after my loss were very difficult. My head was all over the place, but now that the dust has settled, I feel significantly better. I have the greatest people in the world around me, and there are a lot of great takeaways from that fight. For the first time, I have confidence in my conditioning now. My weight cut was phenomenal. I wanna copy and paste everything that I did and do that for all of my cuts moving forward. I'm 30, I still have fight in me. I'm starting to enter my physical prime, and I'm not losing to scrubs. I've lost to very, very tough opponents in very close and competitive fights, and I'm healthy. I can get another fight lined up relatively soon and not have to wait a year. Each of my last 3 fights were a year or more apart from each other, and it's difficult to get momentum going and to feel totally comfortable when you're fighting annually. So as long as I'm healthy, I want to be active. Truthfully speaking, I'm doing well. My ego is a bit bruised, but I'm doing okay. It's humbling dedicating your life to something and putting your best foot forward while still coming up short repeatedly. I've allowed myself to be upset for a few days, but that's it. It's time to move forward. And my plan is to get back into the cage again very soon, God willing. Now, before I wrap up this video, I just want to thank all of you for all the love and support. I get just as much love when I lose as I do when I win, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I want to give a special shout out to all of my sponsors for this fight, but like in a non-salesy, commercially kind of way, because nobody would really want to hear me do that. You know, nobody would want to hear me be like, shout out to AZ HVAC Solutions, your one-stop shop for all your climate control needs. If you have a problem, yo, they'll solve it because they have solutions. HVAC Solutions in AZ. So contact AZ HVAC Solutions today. They are by far the best HVAC company in the whole wide world. You know what I mean? I don't want to be all pushy and over the top. No one would want to see me drop ads like dehydrated. Well, my friends over at Mobile IV Nurses got you covered. They're owned and operated by veterans, affordably priced, and customize every IV on site to meet your needs. Why get stabbed in the back by enemies when you can get love poked in the arm by friends? Call Mobile IV Nurses today. They are super, mega, ultra, #1 in the whole wide world. You see what I mean? Like, I just feel like my viewers would get so frustrated with me if I just used this opportunity to be like, Hola, ¿te gusta la comida mexicana? Si es así, debes visitar el restaurante La Barquita en Phoenix, Arizona. Tienen la mejor comida mexicana del mundo. Muchas gracias, La Barquita. So I'm not gonna do it. I'll give my sponsors shout outs, but I'm not gonna be all like, do you live anywhere in Arizona, Nevada, California, Utah, Colorado, New or Old Mexico, and drive? If so, you need to be filling up at Daily Stop gas station. Your one-stop shop for gas. Their gas prices are comparable with the other gas stations, but not every other gas station sponsored me for this fight. Heck, Daily Stop didn't even sponsor me for this fight, but my coach owns it, so you guys should go check it out and get the greatest gas the world has ever known. Also, do you listen to podcasts? Well, you absolutely should not. Unless you're listening to MMA Breakdowns and Bets, the world's #1 podcast in the world by all non-verifiable measures. A show dedicated to providing you with expert MMA breakdowns, bets, picks, and predictions. Don't miss your chance to listen to and learn from UFC World Champion coach Santino DeFranco as he offers his expert opinions, and his co-host Brandon Oliva Salone, please, as he continues trying to convince listeners he's not bisexual. But I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't be so forward telling you that all my sponsors' links are in the description. You know, I just could never be one of those YouTubers. Like, if you're watching a YouTuber and they just started dropping ad after ad after ad for money, wouldn't you be mad? I'd be mad. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you be so mad? Well, if you're mad, you should check out HappyBox. Have a special someone you want to get a special something for? HappyBox has got you covered. At HappyBox.com, you can order the world's finest flowers and best tasting chocolates. Your lover will be so happy that the two of you will be so madly in love that you'll go paint the town red together. And if you need help painting the town red, then call Isassi Painting, the world's ultimate painting company. Whether you need painting or literally anything else, they may or may not be able to do it, but they definitely know a guy who does. The only thing they don't do, unfortunately, is tattooing. But fortunately, I know the top 2 greatest tattoo artists in the entire world. Want some new ink? Be sure to hit up Legion Tattoo in Arizona and IslandTAT in San Diego. My brother's got an ink over at Legion, I've got an ink over at IslandTAT, and I plan on getting some more very soon. These shops have some of the best artists in the world. The entire world, the whole wide world. These artists are phenomenal. You should check them out. Lastly, I want to thank my management, everybody at Suckerpunch Entertainment, Naveed Shan over at Shan Physical Therapy for helping me keep my body fresh during camp, and of course, my team over at Siege MMA and Fight Ready MMA. Lastly, I want to thank my family and friends. I love you guys more than I could ever put into words. Thank you to everybody for watching this. This is a tough sport, but I have to remind myself how blessed I am to be able to do this. I love this life that God has blessed me with. I love the people that He has blessed me with, and I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. Thank you to everybody for watching. I think this is when I say something like, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and if you didn't like the video, then hit the dislike button twice or something like that. Anyways, thank you everybody. On to the next.